We're talking about 17 seconds without going off on a goose chase and 17 seconds without going off on a goose chase. We're talking about 17, 17, 17, 17, 17 until you've got 68 seconds of not getting off on any tangents. That's enough to create a substantial enough vibrational, emotional grid that now thoughts that blend and mesh will begin flowing into your mind. And the first thoughts that will come are thoughts like, there's nothing for me to worry about. The first thoughts will come like, I'm right on track. Everything's unfolding nicely. I'm glad to know what I know. This is not going to be difficult. There must be a lot of non-physical energies that are helping me. There's a wonderful world out there. I'm looking forward to figuring this out. I'm glad I don't have to figure it out all at once. They will be more tangible, more specific thoughts that will flow to you, but they will dovetail and blend, mesh, merge perfectly with the grid that you've already established. And then another stream of thoughts, and then another stream, and then it will reach further into your environment where you will begin to notice that the phone calls are less. You will begin to notice that people are figuring things out without you. You will begin to notice that the universe is managing this much better than you could consciously do. Some years ago, when Esther was at her most overwhelmed state, we taught her the placemat process. We've talked about it through the years. And the placemat process, we're going to dovetail it now with this grid process because they are essentially the same thing. We encouraged Esther to take a placemat because she was at a restaurant that had a paper placemat. So we said, draw a line down the center of the placemat. And on the left side, write, things I will do today. And by that, we mean things that you pretty much got to do today in order to fulfill your obligations. And on the other side, write things that you would like the universe to do. And only put the things that you must tend to on your side. Well, what we were actually doing with Esther was teaching her to trust and release large quantities of activities that she felt like she needed to do, to leave it to the universe. It was the precursor to this grid conversation. Because the grid conversation says, you take the time, and it only takes a little time, to create an emotional grid. The universe will find the partners and friends and cooperative components to fill it in. And your work effort, the amount of time and energy and action that will be required of you, will be cut in half on the first day, and in half again on the second day, and in half again on the third day, until people will be looking at you and saying, what are you spending your time doing? And you'll just say to yourself under your breath as you walk away, because you know they won't get it, grid work. I'm doing grid work. Grid work. It's establishing yourself in the center of who you are and allowing all of the consciousness that has the ability to assist you. So when you get an idea about a property, it will be a good one. Jerry said to Esther the other day, she was writing with him, because she was talking about all of the things that she needed to do, and she wanted him to help her figure out where she should put her attention first. What are the things that matter the most? And in her overwhelmment, she wasn't even hearing his suggestions very well. So he just talked to her in very general terms, really general terms. Talked to her about love, talked to her about feelings of well-being, just really general terms until she sort of settled down into the energy of that. And then he said something that made her laugh right out loud, and it made more sense than anything that she'd ever thought about relative to having too much to do. He said, remember the plate spinning act? He used to talk about the plate spinning act a lot and the difficulty of keeping the plates spinning. And he said to Esther, some of the plates are spinning significantly and they are stable. Some of the plates are wobbly. Let the wobbly ones fall. Let the wobbly ones fall. Because in your attention to the plates that are wobbly, you're getting wobbly. You see, where when you focus upon what doesn't need your attention and you let what doesn't need your attention then be the basis that you establish for the next and the next and the next and the next, soon you discover how many partners and friends and cooperative components you have to assist you in all of this. And your satisfaction comes from knowing that you did the work. And as our friend said, it's such a glorious feeling of birthing the thought. And we're wanting to soften that by letting you know you didn't birth it when you let it appear in your grid. You birthed it a long time ago. You recognized the thought that had been birthed. And that recognition is just going to keep coming and coming. It's going to come in the form of ease. It's going to come in the form of lightheartedness. It's going to come in the form of funny people coming into your experience. It's going to come in the form of ideas popping into your mind at perfect times. And it's going to come in the form of ideas relative to the property acquisition and releasing and managing that you're all a part of. It's going to come in regards to all of those things. But as it comes, as each piece of it comes, once you've done this basic grid work, you're going to feel satisfied as it comes, and you're going to feel an integral part of it. Long before we were talking about the vortex, long before we were talking about the grid, long before we were talking about things moving downstream, really in the early stages when we were talking about you create your own reality, we were explaining to Esther, as you are focused in your now and you care about how you feel, that as you find that feeling place, everything will fill in around that. It really is finding the feeling place. And then we said, the only creation that is really satisfying is deliberate creation. And now we're saying to you, as an extension of that, what deliberate creation is control of your own grid, which means conjuring of your own emotions and maintaining it long enough that the universe begins filling it in. And this is the piece that we so want you to get. Filling it in with recognizable things. Recognizable things because you will recognize the vibrational essence of them and you will know the part that you played in them. And there is nothing more rewarding than to meet someone and hear them say something and know that they came because of the work that you did, you see. It's delicious creating. We're eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off limits. There is nothing that is inappropriate. Everything will be offered by you at the perfect unfolding in this co-creating at its best. We know that through all you've been living, you've been asking and asking and asking and asking. And we want you to know that everything that you want is already vibrationally queued up for you. Now, many of you, and this is your problem, really it is, aren't that happy about the vibrational queuing up. Just deliver the goods. I appreciate how much money is queued up, but until I can spend it, I'm not really that excited about it. I appreciate that there is a lover waiting for me, but until I can see this person, I'm not really that excited about the vibrational essence of this person. We know what you mean, but we want you to understand, if you can accept the vibrational cueing, if you can accept that vibrationally speaking, that the larger part of you has already become and is already experiencing these things that you desire, and you will get yourself more often into a mode of appreciation, what you will begin to discover is you will have more and more rendezvous with more and more physical things that will give you the evidence of that which you are reaching for. It's so nice when you start recognizing consciously the vibrational formation even before it is a manifestation. So now we want to talk about what is a manifestation. Is a manifestation a materialization? In other words, does the money have to show up? Does the person have to show up? Does the condition have to change? Does the work have to show up? What is the manifestation? And we want to get you to stretch just a little bit with us into the vibrational understanding. Because everything that you want, no matter what it is, whether it's a material object or a relationship or a bodily condition, a circumstance, an event, everything that you want without exception is because you want the feeling that you believe you will have, the good feeling that you believe that you will have in the having of that materialization. And we are not for a moment trying to talk you out of or guide you around or slow you down from your manifestations. This is a physical world you've come forth to manifest. This leading edge time-space reality where all of us are focused right here out on the leading edge with you is for manifestation. And we want you to know that because we can see the materialization of that which you are reaching for, when you tune to that which is us, you will be able to see it too. It's a fine line for so many of you because you say, I don't just want the essence of it, I want it. I just don't want the feeling of it. I want to have it so that I can have a feeling response to it. And we say, there's the rub for you right there. You want the manifestation or the materialization so that you can have a response to it. And we want you to figure out how to have the response to what we are already knowing, a response to what we are already seeing, a response to the reality that you've already created. And once you are having the feeling response to the vibrational version of it, the manifested, actualized version of it must appear to you. Because in this leading edge environment, that's the only difference, friends, between the leading edge and the not the leading edge. The leading edge is where stuff manifests. Do you get it? The leading edge is where stuff manifests. But you want the good stuff to manifest, which means you got to focus on the good stuff. And we want you to understand that the source within you and all who love you, and there are more than you can count and more than we can name, are focused with you out here in this leading edge moment, rooting for your modification of your vibration just enough that you will begin to feel. You will begin to feel. You will begin to feel the manifestation forming, and you will take satisfaction from it even before you're able to see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. That's really the key. Your emotions are all about feeling, aren't they? When you talk about emotions, aren't you talking about feelings? We are. When we talk about your emotions, we're talking about your feelings, you see. Well, when we began today, we told you that it was co-creating at its best, and we have certainly filled in that grid together, haven't we? It's exhilarating for us to focus with you out here on our leading edge. Not just your leading edge, our leading edge. While you are stirring up the details that are bringing desires into focus. And we want to acknowledge that the desire that exists as a result of this mass consciousness here in these physical bodies. And we're not just talking about humans, we're talking about all of the consciousness in all that exists. Bringing desire to a heightened point, higher than ever before. More summoning. In other words, friends, most substantial grid ever. And then as individuals of consciousness, we each get to play the role that we choose in allowing the grid to fill in. The reason that we want to assure you of the well-being of your time-space reality is because, well, we might as well tell you. We're dominant with the grid thing. Our knowledge of your well-being is enough to sustain it. No matter what you do, you can't mess it up. But you can pinch yourself off and have a miserable afternoon. Or longer. We've enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey, and that is the reason that we've conveyed it with much more than words. It is exhilarating to us to feel you come into the alignment of that which you know. There is no homework in the sense that there's nothing that you need to remember here. But it is our promise to you that you are now forever changed as a result of what you've come to know in these hours that we've been together. Your grid has moved into a new vibrational patterning, and what fills in with it will be different, and it is our absolute expectation that you will notice it. We are appreciative of those who drag your physical bodies here, and we are appreciative of those who are all around the world who are tuning into us at very odd times in some places. We are appreciating the consciousness that you bring to this forum, and it is our promise to you that there will always be a consciousness far greater and far more vast than you have any words or numbers to even understand, that are focused with you not only in powerful, important moments like this, but in every moment of your powerful and important experience. So watch for the sustaining well-being that surrounds you, and expect more things to go exactly, precisely, specifically your way. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain